It is regarded as one of the greatest Batman stories of all time. Written by superstar walking beard, that is Alan Moore, and featuring the grotesquely realistic art of Brian Bolland, just on that pedigree alone, this comic would have any comic fan salivating. The thing about The Killing Joke though, is it really all that great? Over the course of 60 plus pages, the story is known for two major developments: the painting of the Joker as a tragic figure, and the paralysis of Barbara Gordon. It is both of these elements that are actually inherently reductive of everyone involved: Barbara, Commissioner Gordon, Batman, and the Joker. For the Joker, who up until this point was essentially a force of chaotic evil, his actions in the story are far too calculated and dark for his moniker of Crown Prince of Crime. It is this shift into essentially deliberate psychopathy that changes the Joker to such a criminal that if they truly went by the book, as Gordon insists Batman to do, then he should also be saying death penalty as well, because that will be definitely under consideration rather than just shoving the Joker into Arkham Asylum. As for Batman, he once again fails at being the world's greatest detective. Or there are in fact several abandoned funhouses and amusement parks, which really is a frightening thought if you think about it. The only character that really comes out of this story better than they went in is Commissioner Gordon. And really, he doesn't come out all that well considering that his daughter is paralyzed and has been sexually assaulted, maybe even possibly raped. But Gordon surviving his ordeal also means that Batman is not as heroic as one would think, being unable to let go of his own one bad day. Finally, and most importantly, we have Barbara Gordon. Before The Killing Joke, she was enjoying an illustrious career as Batgirl and was basically a pretty kick-ass character by herself. Unfortunately, The Killing Joke does not even reduce her to a damsel in distress. You see, in the beginning, we see her making cocoa and fussing over her father and his messy ways, putting her in essentially housewife category. And is that really the Barbara that we've been reading all these years? No. She becomes, as Gail Simone had coined, a woman in a refrigerator. This refers to Kyle Rayner's first girlfriend, who was found stuffed in a refrigerator thanks to Major Force. Barbara Gordon serves as a catalyst to spur the heroes, Batman and Commissioner Gordon in a sense, and so her story is never really resolved in The Killing Joke. She is just fodder for Batman to fail at being who he is. For Barbara, she only becomes the Oracle in Suicide Squad number 23, thanks to the intervention of editor Kim Yale and John Ostrander. I'm not the only one who thinks this way. Alan Moore has stated that, "I've never really liked my story in The Killing Joke. I think it put far too much melodramatic weight upon a character that was never designed for it. It was too nasty. It was too physically violent." And then we have Brian Bolland himself. Bolland has gone on record as saying he did not like John Higgins' psychedelic palette, which gave the reader a sense of the Joker's mindset. But for Bolland, he wanted to give a more realistic color selection for the panels, which he managed to do in the deluxe edition reissue. If you take that and Alan Moore's quote, it shows that the creators themselves were kind of unsure how they wanted to present the story and how they viewed their own creation. So why the fascination with The Killing Joke? It could be because it allows us, the reader, to peek behind the curtain for one of the most enigmatic characters in comics. People consider the origin story of the Joker presented in The Killing Joke as essentially canon, even though DC really tries to distance itself whenever it can, as we can see with the new 3 Jokers from DC Rebirth. But with the readers chomping at the bit to know who the Joker is, it has essentially laid waste to all the other characters surrounding him. The only thing that could be worse is that if Harley Quinn was his sister in some way or the other. But really, the worst case is that Barbara Gordon is poorly served in this story, and no one really thinks about that.